Everybody, welcome back to Women Carry Knives. On the table in front of us, we're going to be taking a look at a more budget-friendly knife for you folks. Now, it is a Bestech. However, Bestech does have some budget-friendly knives, and this is going to be one of them. Before we get started, I'd love to have you guys hit that like button. It does help out the channel. If you're not a subscriber, I'd love to have you hit that subscribe button because I'd love to have you here all the time. And as always, leave me a comment down in the comment sections. All right, you guys, let's get into this one. So this is going to be the Bestech Operator. Now, this knife goes for $65. So budget friendly? Absolutely. You don't always find Bestech knives that are budget friendly. As I said, this is one of them. Hey there, Therapeutic. How are you?
I'm good, Women Carry.
Hello, A Therapeutic Edge.
Excellent, Women Carry knives. I just wanted to come over and see what you're looking at.
We're taking a look at the Bestech Operator. Have you had a chance to check this one out?
I have not reviewed this yet. I've carried it around a little bit, though.
Yeah, it's awesome. Now, I'm not a big fan of the, modified-ish Corncliffe.
Corncliffe.
I'm not a huge fan of the modified Warncliffe style blade, but there's something about this one I like. And I think what it reminds me of is I had a Bestech Rhino. And it does kind of remind me of the Rhino, and mostly because of the blade shape, which I think is interesting. What are you going to get with this one? Well, you are going to get a D2 kind of modified Warncliffe blade with a stone wash. So you got kind of that black stone wash on the top, and it does have a flat grind. Very sharp, by the way. Your handles are going to be G10. And this G10 is fairly grippy. I like that. So if you can see kind of the milling or the texture of it, it's got just enough texture where it doesn't feel like it's going to slip out of your hand. So I do like that. But sometimes G10 can either be too smooth or too textured, if that makes any sense. This is not. This is right in the middle, right where I like it to be. Now, it is going to be a liner lock. You can see that there. Did it come centered? Yes, it did. Very nice. You got a nice big thick chunk of D2 there. It is a flipper. You do have some jimping on the back of your flipper tab, so your ability to never miss a flip will be good on that. It also has a nice little kind of spidey hole there, so you can flick it or thumb roll it if you so choose. I tend to always not always thumb roll the larger knives because my hands are too small for it. Now, unfortunately, this is a right-hand tip-up carry. You do have a nice deep carry pocket clip on there, so it is not going to be sticking out of your pocket. And as always, I do love that. Now, this does run on bearings, which I like because it makes for a nice, smooth deployment. Washers do too, but I guess I'm kind of a bigger fan of bearings, and I'm not really in any kind of area where I use my knife where I have to worry about what's going to happen to my bearings because of what I'm using on. So if we take a look at some specs on this one before we get into any more on it, we are looking at a 3.5-inch blade with just, about a 3.5-inch cutting edge also. Now your handle length is going to be just over 4.5 inches. They call it actually 4.625. I'm going to call it just over 4.5 because we're not going to get that spot on, which is going to make your overall about 8 inches all total. So it's a really good size knife. Now your weight on this one is going to be over 5.5 ounces. Which is a pretty good weight. So it is, it's not a lighter knife. It's a larger knife. Not so medium. I would call it large. Let's take a look at it next to the Rat 1. As you can see, as I said, always, I consider the Rat 1 to be a large knife. I will put this one right in that same category. We can take a look at it next to the Rat 2. Which I consider to be more of a smaller or medium size. And just to throw one more out there, we can take a look at it next to the Bug Out. So, it is more of a medium to large size, or a large. That's what we're going to call it, a large. But it feels really good in hand. I don't know. Pocket clips is, I keep saying in every video, pocket clips are a thing for me. Now, This is a recessed pocket clip, but the screws themselves are not recessed. Okay, so you are going to have the screws that are going to be sticking up a bit. It is not completely flat, but that is okay. This one is not actually a hot spot. I really thought it was going to be because of where it sits, but it's actually not. It's really comfortable. It carries really well. I've been super happy with that. I do like that I can either hold it back a little further, or because of the jimping here on the back of the spine or back of the blade there, I can actually really choke up on it, and that is nice too because it's going to give me a real firm grip. Now, I prefer drop point blades, mostly because the drop point blade has a curvature to it. Sometimes, now this one is a little bit, this one's kind of an exception. No, not so much. When I'm using a knife and it has a very flat blade to it, I like my handle to be a little higher so that if I'm using it and I want to maybe chop something with it, I have the ability to do that. This way, you know, I've got the knuckles in the way. So I'm going to be at kind of a curved angle to where it's just the tip that's going to be used. And I'm not always a huge fan of that because I feel as, you know, with my drop point blade or my spear point or any of those types, I'm going to get a little bit better of a cutting edge, I should say, for myself. But otherwise, not a bad knife at all. I did not check and see if this one came in other colors. I probably should have done that for you guys, but I actually kind of like the green on this one. It's kind of nice, actually. Sometimes I'm not a fan of it, but sometimes I am, and I kind of like how they did their black stonewash on here, which is really nice against this satin blade, which makes it look, you know, kind of like their little fancy look on that. But again, on a budget knife, a budget-friendly knife. I don't want to say budget. It's definitely not budget. It's a great knife. Great feel to it. It's going to work out really well. It's going to last you for a while. I don't know. I really do like this one. There's something about it. I would definitely use it. Like I said, I've carried it. I do have some jeans now that have bigger pockets, and I've carried it in pocket. It's been super comfortable. To me, it is very fidget friendly. It drops down nicely. You can spidey flick it if you get your finger in the right area. For those with larger fingers, as you can see, I mean, my finger goes right through it. So those with larger fingers, it's going to be even easier. But yes, very happy with this. As I said, the way the texturing is on their G10 feels really, really good. It's not too light, not too heavy, which is just perfect on that. All right, you guys, this has been a look at the Bestech Operator. Goes for about $65, what you're going to find it for. Great value for what you're getting. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave it down in the comments section. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time.